So, hey gang, I'm making a really quick video. First, I want to introduce this guy because he's he's a corn hamster, and I just am so delighted by him at all hours of the day. I just needed to share him with you. He is G6, Generation 6. You could tell he's like this newer style. Let me take his little hat off. He's a little hamster or a guinea pig, you know. I believe this mold is technically labeled as a hamster, but he could be a guinea pig. Whatever small rodents your heart desires. But I'm too lazy to go get up and get my LPS mascot, who has been my mascot for years. He's back there, so you guys will see him some other day, I'm sure. But this is just I'm gonna do like a quick little LPS history crash course. This video probably won't be very long. Like, it's just gonna be, I'm trying to get his hat back on. It's not gonna be very long. It's just like a quick little history about LPS. So I'm gonna, ooh, that's not a good idea. Hold on. So I've put a random assortment of LPS in my lab that I'll just pull up and like show, like this cute little whale. But I'm just doing like a quick little crash course on LPS history. It started off as a brand in the 90s. I don't remember. I'm like, I would consider myself an expert, but there are definitely people who are way more knowledgeable than me about certain things. Like, there are people who could be like, oh, this LPS, and then like identify exactly what fucking number it is, and like how much it's worth and how rare it is. And I cannot do that. but I guys trust. I promise. I'm really smart and I know a lot about LPS. But this is a camel. I remember I got her. This is an original from a kid. You could tell, like, because she's old, that she's been through it. But she's cute. Camel. Cute little camel. My whale, my camel. They're not related at all, but LPS was an original brand owned by somebody, by a different company. And what ended up happening was Hasbro bought them out. So what Hasbro did a lot in like the 90s and the 2000s, you may know, you may not be familiar with. Here's the corn hamster, by the way. He can come back. Is they would buy out different brands. And so you might know or have noticed that in the 2000s, Hasbro had their hands in like everything, all the kids' toys. And so they acquired little pet shops, and originally, and you'll see like some myths where people are like, oh, these are the original LPS, and technically yes, but no, not this version of LPS. This version of LPS, I don't have a G1 in my lab. Well, I might have a G1 in my lab, and he's a G1. They always had this kind of bobble look, and that was their selling point, was the bobble. Was get with the bobble, right? That was their selling point in the 2000s and the 90s, because that's what was popular, was the bobble. Mine don't bobble so good because they're old and their springs are like fucked up. But that was their selling point in the 90s. And I say 90s, to the 2000s. The original LPS were just a brand they bought so that they could own the name. They aren't actually like this. It's like they're two separate brands with the same name. I did all that to explain something so simple. And so the first generation were just like really natural looking, kind of basic animals. I wish I like had time to prep and make a little video, but I don't. I just pulled a random sample from my bin that you're on top of right now. But they the design didn't change too much, like in general, but they had a lot of variety of animals, and they had a lot of uncommon animals. So they had dogs, cats, of course, but what has always been very nice about LPS is that they've had uncommon animals, such as ferrets. Since generation 1, ferrets, which was fucking lit. There's one ferret I'm desperately in search of, that's a variant. It's so hard. I'm die-hard ferret collector for LPS specifically, but I do really like ferrets in general, and minks, and like the other and weasels, and like the similar stoats, the noodly mustelids, rodent things, you know. But they what's the note about G1 is they had these blue magnets, or sorry, this is a G2. He looked like a G1. I'm so sorry. I'm like super unprepared. Here's a G1. And you can tell she's G1 because she has this red magnet, and it has a cute little paw print on it. Super adorable. The problem is that they were having issues with these magnets like falling out, which is when in G2 they switched to this blue magnet, because they seal it in the plastic, and that way it still works and they can have the magnetic accessories. Like, I used to have like a scooter that was like a little magnet, and it would sit on the scooter, and then they also, at some point, they switched the holes, so they would go between magnets and holes, and the holes would, like, there would be a peg on the accessory. Like, I had a skateboard that had a peg. I wish I could show you, but I unfortunately don't have any accessories, like, easily available right now. There was an LPS online game. This is a G7. He looks similar. He's in the style. So they went to this style. They went to a different style first. I'm getting ahead of myself. In the 2000s, with the hype of the G2, G2 is generally what we call these ones. This iconic look. The look you think of when you think of LPS. G1 and G2 would be this. That's what, up until 2012 when the show came out, that's what people think of generally. And like I mentioned, and like Greenie asked about if you're watching this video in context, yes, there were LPS plushies that came out in the 2000s, and yes, there was an online game. I don't know much about the online game. I did not have a computer as a kid. I don't know anybody who really played the game, and from what I've seen online, nobody really talks about it. I could probably do some research. There are some people I heard trying to work on doing like a fan like revitalization of LPS Online, LPSO, and because these would come with like little tags, like codes, like a Webkins, and I know that's real because I seen it on boxes and I seen it on nibs. What we have in modern day is the Roblox game, which you get codes for when you buy the new G7 LPS. They come with a little token that has a code for Roblox. And the game's not very fun, and they stopped updating it like 2 months in. I don't think it gets a lot of big updates anymore, from what I know. Maybe some small ones here and then, but LPS, Lil's Pet Shop, the people who handle them have famously gone bankrupt so many times, which is kind of like the downfall of LPS. In 2012, so like we go from this style to, I don't have any G3s in my lab. Hold on. So in 2012, at the beginning of 2012, they started transitioning the LPS into a different look. This look was known for the show, the Littlest Pet Shop show in 2012, which aired on the Hub channel, the same channel that was running My Little Pony, Pound Puppies, Transformers, I think at the time too, and a bunch of other like kid shows. And that channel is no longer around, but they released more stylistic to the show toys, and at the time they were widely hated because they ruined the charm of LPS, which was the bobblehead, and they were just weird, and sometimes they didn't stand, they didn't like they didn't work properly as toys, and they worked better as collectibles, was the biggest issue. And as a kid, I was a huge LPS fan back then. I hated them. I freaking hated them, and like there's a lot of bring back the LPS like memes that you would see everywhere. And now I like them. I actually quite like G3. It's I'm sad for what happened, but I do like G3 in retrospect, and I would like to start collecting them more. I did customize a ton of mine when I was a kid, or like damaged them or whatever, because I was so mad. So I thought they were ugly, and a lot of them are ugly, but some of them are cute. They introduced a whole line, even, that I think is one of the best LPS lines, is the fairies. And they introduced all these fairies, and these fairies came with little pets that were these little bugs. And they were so cute. And these are G3s. There was also G3 that had the old style, but they had a slightly different look. I mean, you can't really tell unless you like know LPS. But G3 was this transition period where they went from, let me find the G3 I had. I believe she's a G3. I might be wrong. But like where they went from the old classic style to this newer one, and so G3 is a mix of this and this. And so, like I said, a lot of the G3 were ugly, but a lot of the G3 that were on the older style were very cute. They also released the mommy and baby set during this time, which was very adorable. They were very into babies in G3. Like they released so many little LPS. They had teensies in the original. I have a teensy house. I think it's in my keychain bag, so I'm not gonna get up and get it. But teensies had this distinct look, but they were obviously small. This is my box of little LPS. Let me show without. It's full, like to the top. This is the old cigar box that was customized. These were like the fairy pets I was talking about. I don't know. I have a lot of like miscellaneous ones that just don't have a match or whatever. I just killed that fairy. Oops. Top 10 things Donald Trump has said. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. These are like the teensies from the original like 2000s, from Gen 2. And they came with like little keychains and stuff you could stick them in, and so like they were supposed to be like LPS you could bring with you on the go, and they did bring that back in G4 with these ones, and they came with little rings. Very cute. I did enjoy those teensies. Those are teensies, and then this smaller size is known as a mini. This is an anglerfish, by the way. Very cool fish. Very cool LPS even. This is a G6, I believe. When I say G, I mean generation. I don't know if I went over that. But when 2012 came out, the LPS 2012 show came out, there's a lot of issues. A lot of people were really upset because they switched the style. The toys were kind of ugly, and I just broke my box. What the flip? But a lot of people were really upset about the change. Including me, including all the children of the world. But they did not listen, despite people, like, there were people who would, like, literally call LPS HQ, like, every single day, and be like, bring back the old LPS, bring back the old, it's such a big thing, that, like, I don't know why Hasbro didn't just do it, but the dedication of the LPS fanbase is honestly what brought it back in 2024, or 2023, I don't remember when G7 came out. Honestly, but the dedication of the fan base is like what really brought LPS back and what kept it from dying. I have this little freak. I need to take a break. Let me show you this little freak. He's supposed to like have a bottle. I got him secondhand, so he doesn't have his little bottle. But he's supposed to have like a little bottle you put in his mouth, and he's like woo woo woo. There's like 4 different Persian cats like this. There's like this one. There's one that has like a Siamese pattern on it. And then like he's just so funny. I love him. Sorry, gang. So in 2012, the show came out. Everybody was mad. Blah blah blah. Whatever. At the end of the show, obviously they stopped making LPS, and they're like, okay, well, what's next? And so people are like, bring back the old LPS. We want the old LPS, and like, you know, all this crap. That's when Pets in the City happened. Pets in the City was so fucking horrendous and horrible and ugly. Ugly. With a capital fucking U. Ugly. And they did have this issue where, I believe, yeah, this is a Pet in the City. It had this little QR code, where you would, like, be able to scan your LPS into the game. There were 2 LPS App Store games, one of them by Gameloft, which also did like the Ice Age one and the My Little Pony one. They took it off the App Store. I do know a way to secretly download it, which is epic sauce for me. On Android, I don't know if there's a way on iOS, but there was also another game which they recently took off the App Store. Boo! They were both pretty fun. They're both pretty fun games. But with Pets in the City, they had these little things on the back, and they're like little QR codes for the LPS. And they would scan them into the game for 24 hours, and then you play with them or whatever. But then you could also buy them permanently in the game with like the in-game currency. The games were pretty fun. The app games were fun. I played both of them as a kid. I do like the Game Loft one a little bit better, but this one was fun. The one for the show was fun. They did have a tendency to come disconnected from their bodies, so I do have a plethora of headless LPS bodies and bodiless LPS, and so you could like mix and match them. And then they fixed it at a certain point where like their head couldn't come off. This one does. So like I would just be like Dr. Frankenstein mashing these LPS together, or like writing storylines where like their heads fell off. And like literally incorporate it into my LPS stories with my friends. So there's Pets in the City, which are horrible. You see the proportions are like terrible. These just happen to be cuter ones that I pulled, but trust me, there are god fucking ugly ones that exist out there in the world, and I could literally pull up pictures of ones I even own somewhere in here. But from Pets in the City, they move on and they start releasing like the ones like the teensies I just showed you, like that little tiny elephant. Like this is like their little accessories. They had a lot of cute accessories in this gen. This is where LPS, this is like Gen 4 is the fix-ups of Pets in the City, and they're still kind of ugly. And then there's Gen 5 and Gen 6, and there's technically differences. I don't really know what the differences are because they're all kind of like the same. They're all this, actually, in Gen 4, more like Gen 5. Gen 5, they cleaned them up and they still resemble the Pets in the City ones. But as you can see, they're a lot cuter. They kind of hold a more LPS proportion to them. And, like, the proportions are good. The designs were kind of lazy and ugly at times. Like, this one's really simple. But, it gets worse, I promise you. But they were pretty good. Pretty good. I like them. They were mostly natural. That's where Corn Hamster is also from. Let me find him again. Where did he go? Oh, he's over here. Silly me. So this is from like the same generation. They had a lot of cute accessories in this generation. Like a lot of cute accessories. He came with a little cute smoothie hat, which I have somewhere. It might even be, hold on. So fun fact, it was actually in that box I was using to prop up my phone. They had this cute little smoothie set, and they came with these little smoothie hats that you could like take off. Obviously they're accessories. If I can fit his ears in here. I think this one was his hat. It might have been a different one, but this one fits, so it's fine. But yeah, they came with these. Accessories were fucking fire in this gen. Like, we're being so fucking for real. I have this cute little tiny corn that came with him. He came with a cute little tiny corn. Like, fire. Absolute fire. Absolute drip. And people are still mad. Because they're like, we want the old LPS. At this point, LPS are kind of like dying. And by that I mean Hasbro just slowly is like stopping producing them until they get really ugly and lazy. And when I say ugly and lazy, I mean like baby's first OC. Like, imagine this, except it's just blue. It's just blue. Even the accessory part right here, blue. The eye color's also blue, but like a slightly different shade of blue. They're just like monochrome, and they have like ugly like little cutie mark charms on them. Terrible. I can't find any right this moment, but I will send pictures. I promise. If you ask me for pictures, I will send you pics. So then they stopped. This is like 2018-ish, 2019-ish. 2020, very sparse. 2020, they're like releasing like one LPS like every couple weeks. You're finding them at Dollar Tree. Like, they released an exclusive Dollar Tree line. They were selling them at $5 below. And so, like, you're like, oh my god, LPS are dead. LPS are dying. And then they stopped making them for a couple years. They released an advent calendar at the end of, like, 2020, I want to say. And then they stopped making LPS. Even with the release of the show, the LPS, like, Make Your World or whatever it is, that came out like 2021, 2022, they didn't really release new LPS toys. I mean, there were some, but you didn't really see them at stores. And even though they had a new cast of characters, and that show didn't go very far, and I do not believe it's still airing. I think it only got maybe 2 seasons. I might be wrong on that because I didn't really watch the show, but I did watch one episode and I really liked it. I like the characters, but that was like, yeah, they, and I might be wrong about what year that second show came out, but it was not very popular, and a lot of people don't really know about it. I do have stickers from it. I actually have a sticker from it on my phone. So LPS stopped getting made for a couple of years, and I'm like, fuck, they're dead. They're dead. But this whole time, everybody's like, bring back the old LPS. We want the old LPS. Community thriving, by the way. Community is thriving. We're like, we're good. We're just gonna sell and trade and make customs and stuff. And like, people start making their own like fake LPS with like custom designs that they made to mass produce. And then there's also drama with like LPS QA or LPS Lover QA or whatever it's called, like stealing people's custom designs or buying custom design but then selling them like on a mass produce. It's a whole thing. 2023, 2024, Basic Fun comes and gets the rights to LPS, and they start making the LPS, and you know what they do? G7, old LPS style. Now, this is from Wave 1. The designs are kind of lazy. They're, like, really simple. This is a cute little shark, though. Kind of lazy, but kind of simple. Some of them are really cute. Like, some of them, so freaking cute. Others, G1, Wave 1 of G7, I did not have any quality issues. But I saw a lot of people having quality issues online. And then I got Wave 2 and Wave 3, and the quality issues are so bad. Like, this thing should not be this squishy. You can see, like, it might be a little difficult. The eyes are, like, super, like, grainy, like, they stretched a PNG over the eyeball. And I have some where their paint is super bad. Super blotchy paint. Like, the eyes are printed. So, you know how, like, there's the imprints for the eyes? Like, there's a little dip. Right, you can see like the eye is printed below, so it's not in the allocated space for the eyeball. You can see like the paint's kind of like patchy up here. Most of the ones it looks like the ones I grabbed out of the box are actually like pretty okay. You can see like there's this coloration with the plastic though. Like, it's really hard to see on camera. This is not the same purple as this. Like, they are not even the same color. And some of them are just kind of ugly. This owl's, he's okay. He's not the worst one. Let's see, I have a turtle here. This is also G7. Again, I was very lucky, and most of my issues are just, they're kind of squishy. And the eyes are grainy. I am noticing that these LPS, these G7 ones, are staining much easier. Like, just dirt, and I'm like, where the hell did this even come from? You've been in a box your entire life. Thanks. I don't know what to say. I feel like I've yapped, and I'm probably missing something really important, like a really important phase in the LPS lifetime. But I don't know what to say. He's a cute lucky cat. This is also G7. Oh, turtle eyeball. This is a G7. This is a G2. I'm gonna say G2, but if it's a G1, same thing basically. I love the Greyhounds. I love the Greyhound LPS. They're so beautiful. This is a G7. She is very cute. Her nose was pink, but like the paint really easily chipped and like came off. Again, like the quality issues with G7. Also, Basic Fun is going bankrupt. They did release, I mentioned the Roblox game. They're going bankrupt, bro. They just acquired LPS. They start pumping them out, and they're like, actually, we're filing for Chapter 8 bankruptcy. Woohoo. What? I don't know. Because they're overpricing the LPS, honestly, is probably it. Because LPS are hella expensive. Not to even mention with the G7 that I, like, as a collector, I can't go to a store and just get them because the scalpers are so high. Like, they go to the store to buy them all, and then they sell them for like $1 million online. Like, the scalping with LPS is so insane. Not even within the community. Because the people in the community are not scalping. It's the people who know they will make money. Because it is... that's why there's so many fake LPS online. Because they know that they will make money off of this dedicated, diehard community, and we've been a dedicated diehard community throughout everything, even when we weren't happy with this generation, and we were even unhappier with this generation, and we were even unhappier with this generation, but we still kept loving LPS, and we still kept begging for the G2s back, and that's why they were so profitable. I learned about, like, demand making the value of something go up. I learned economics, like basic economic, like, principles from the fucking LPS community, which is insane. But, like, knowing that something's not necessarily worth something, it is in high demand, and that you can find cheaper options, and to, like, look out for scams and fakes on the internet. I didn't realize that wasn't, like, people got scammed on the internet a lot, but I just knew from, like, my LPS biz. Here's your hamster. Wow, I've been recording for 25 minutes. What the hey? Hedgehog. I really like the hedgehogs. I keep saying, I really like this one. I really like that one. I do. I like them. I like them all. Let's be honest. This is a Bon cat. He's a G1. I know that for a fact because he's got a little magnet. Bon cat. Bulldog. I think I have like 3 or 4 of these ones. I feel like he's fairly common. There used to be like a myth about the eye color, be like, oh, blue is common and green is uncommon, and purple and pink are rare, and like that was a stupid myth. Like that was a stupid myth that people would use to like scam you out of like your rare LPS. Not to mention LPS Popular is what made the big 5, which is like wiener dogs, collies, Cocker Spaniels. Let me see. Wait. Wiener Dog, Collie, Cocker Spaniels, short hair cats, which I don't actually have any big 5 out right now. That's so funny. And crap, what's the Great Danes? Skyrocketed because of the LPS YouTube series that was so popular, which is so funny because I've never seen LPS Popular. I was hella on LPS YouTube, but I never watched LPS Popular somehow, and I low-key kind of want to, but also it's really funny to say that I'm a diehard LPS fan and I've never seen LPS Popular. Anyway, let me show you my little fish. She got little hearts on her. And I'm gonna go, I guess, and I will answer any questions you have. Feel free to ask me, LPS expert. I will do like a bigger collection show off at some point, in the future. Maybe like another little video, or like I'll hold a conference call or something. Thank you for listening to me rant for almost a half hour. I recommend, well, I say this at the end of the video, I recommend watching with 2 times speed. Thank you. Love you. Thank you for listening to me. Goodbye.